How can this man do his job without the proper tools? You don't send a Mercedes-Benz to a $2 car wash or a Jiffy Lube. You take care of it. That man is one of the best quarterbacks that'll go down in history. His numbers are off the charts, and he should have many more Super Bowl rings. My question to you is this. If they would have went ahead and gave him the tools that he needed, do you think he would have more Super Bowl rings than he has right now?
Well, I think the tools that he needed were a few years ago towards the end of the Mike McCarthy era or towards the back end of the Mike McCarthy era, Jeff. And I appreciate you chiming in and I'm glad you brought this up because, I think the Packers in the last couple of years have given him the tools that he needed with the exception of last year's draft. And I understand that they rarely draft a wide receiver for him in the first round or ever, and they've never done anything significant in the first round for him is the way it's viewed. But the guy does a lot with what he does have. They did re-sign, I can't believe I'm pounding the table for the front office, but I am, and I appreciate the call, Jeff. Thank you. They did re-sign Aaron Jones. They re-signed their own. They had to do that. I thought if they were going to let him walk, remember it looked like they were going to let him walk, or they were working on it. Then I'd be like, what are they doing?
That was mandatory,
right? They drafted 2 linemen around a wide receiver, and I know I had a lot of fun with that because it's Amari Rodgers, it's an A. Rodgers, and he's like a Randall Cobb comp. Like that was who Daniel Jeremiah says this guy's. So they got him a new version of Randall Cobb, 2 linemen because they did lose his center. The idea that they've given him nothing, I think, is I think it's what's the word for it? I think that's overblown. And I think the best place for Aaron Rodgers to play football is Green Bay. They did give him a young, dynamic coach. Yeah. Certainly, if he was in, everything that came out of that. What was that? Was that Bleacher Report a couple years ago, Chris? I think there was a BR report that came out that McCarthy was busy getting massages and Rodgers was changing plays in the huddle, and it was a holy hot mess.
We were in New York,
and there were a ton of unnamed reports, and Greg Jennings was not happy, and he was actually putting his name on it, and and it looked like a holy hot mess, and they changed that, and they got him a dynamic coach in the mold of Kyle Shanahan. You know what I mean? And they've won 26 games in 2 years and gotten to the NFC Championship game last 2 years.
Rich,
would it have helped for them to have drafted a corner 26th overall instead of Jordan Love? Would it have helped to draft a linebacker, wide receiver, anything other than Jordan Love? Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, Rich, since 2011, okay, Aaron Rodgers is great on offense. The defense is what has not been helping Aaron Rodgers. Since 2011, okay, in playoff losses, here's what they've given up since 2011. 37, 45, 23, 28, 26, 44, 37, and 31 points.
This year, that touchdown they gave up before the half was a killer.
Scotty Miller.
Right. But there were a couple of moments in the second half where the defense turned Brady over and the Packers offense did not do anything with it and then got taken off the field. It was
when
brutal.
You're relying on him to score 40 just to win a playoff
It was
game.
Brutal. But everybody has a hand in the reason why Rodgers has only won once. And part of it definitely was at some point they did not draft for him when he was in his big-time prime. And I know that people might view this video later on if they see it, or right now they're watching on Peacock. What's Rich talking about? They didn't draft him. He's only thrown a touchdown to one first-round player, and that's Mercedes Lewis in his entire career. Yeah, I get it. But Devontae Adams is going to the Hall of Fame. That's happening, I think.
He's on that path.
He's on that path.
He's on the path.
Okay. Rodgers may share a bust room with him. And he does make incredible chicken salad over the years. Okay. But the idea that they have not supported him at all, I'm not going to buy that one. But the ultimate support's got to come right now in the form of a contract that makes him that erases this. The problem is the front office is always looking 5-7 years down the road. And with him pushing 38, they're not going to give him a monster long-term deal. He probably wants more than what the Packers are willing to give. And that's where there's no give and take right now. Again, I don't know, man. I'm reading all of these reports. I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. But I believe the way out of it is to give him the contract that he wants. And if not, deal with the consequences and see if you can win with Jordan Love earlier than you thought. Because he's not going to wait around and let you do it on your timetable anymore. The idea that Rodgers wants Gutekunst fired, I don't know if I buy that either. I don't know how difficult Aaron is being offline. I don't know this. You never know anybody, but I think in the conversations that I've had with him, I don't know. Does he basically say, I want this general manager out of here? Because they know what they want. Mark Murphy is in the Bob Harlan mold. Gutekunst clearly appears to be in the Ted Thompson mold, right? They don't go hog wild in free agency.
Nope.
They draft whoever the hell they want when they want. And they cut whoever they want when they want. And I heard all about that Jake Kumaro being cut the day after Aaron Rodgers says he's one of my favorite receivers, pissed him off. And you can't let your quarterback be the general manager, right? Even Jason Light, but I guess you can't do that. Can you? I mean, is Jason Light and Bruce Arians letting Brady get whoever he wants? It looks like that, right? Doesn't it look that way?
I mean, you say a quarterback can't be the GM,
I
and
guess.
yet
Gronk, Fournette, Antonio Brown. He's pitching Edelman
that's
during
rare,
the,
but it worked.
during the draft.
It worked to
soon.
his advantage. So
Maybe the Packers should just try that. All right, Aaron, you want to be the GM? Go for it.
give him a year.
Yeah.
See how it works
Give
out.
him a year. But I just don't think he wants the guy fired because that guy's only going to get replaced by somebody just like him. Yeah. They're not going to fire the general manager. If they're just not going to do that. I think the guy who he wants out of there, he will never say it. And he's apparently, had a better relationship with him than Favre had with Aaron, is Jordan Love. He won't say it. He won't say it. Jordan's got to get out of here. He's not going to, I don't think so. Maybe he has he won't say it publicly, that's for damn sure. But the contract demands that he's making clearly has put the timetable that the Packers want for Jordan Love further down the road than the Packers planned or want. That's got to be the give and take here. It can't be like dollars and cents. It's got to be like, hey, the contract demands you're asking for pushes Jordan Love further down the road than we want. Because we got to evaluate it in time for pick up a fifth-year option, which is why we drafted him in the first round. And Rodgers is like, okay, so what? Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.